Good evening, folks. Aaron Dorr here with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. You are probably going nuts right now if you are watching any of this debate in the state Senate. We're going to break down what's going on right now, why this is happening, what we can do about this, and kind of what the procedure is now that we're, 7 hours into a Democratic filibuster on the Second Amendment Preservation Act. So we're going to break all this down here in a couple moments, guys. Log in. Give me your location. Post your location in the comment section. Someone give me a sound check. We're going to give you guys an update. If you're watching any of this debate, by now you're probably going crazy. You're hearing about state senators talking about their vacation plans for the fall, the summer. They're discussing where they get their oil changed, discussing, their great grandmother's neighbor's paper boy, milk delivery boy. All they can do to try and stop the advancement of SAPA. This is a filibuster. So if you're listening to this debate and you're going crazy, this is how they do it. When the Democrats don't have the votes they need to kill legislation on the floor, they try and kill it by running out the clock. Now, so here's how we got to where we are, okay? Back in December, we worked on this legislation with Senator Burleson, Representative Taylor, got SAPA perfected, got it all ready to go. Great language. Had it pre-filed first week of December? Yeah, first week of December last year. And then the House passed it through committee and all the way through the House the first week and a half of February. So March, April, May, 3.5 months later, at least 3 months, to 3.5 months later, we're sitting here now, T-minus 22 hours left in this legislative session because Republican Senate leaders did not do their job and take care of this weeks ago or months ago when they had the chance to do it. So now we're sitting here again with 21 hours approximately left in session. And the Democrats know that their best play right now is to run out the clock. And so now we are 6 hours at least, maybe even 7 or 8 hours into a filibuster in the Capitol where they're talking about, if it's kind of a new idea to you, what this means is that the Democrats will talk about literally whatever they want to. They might read from an encyclopedia. They might read from this morning's Missouri Times. They might discuss the weather from 10 years ago. They can read down journals of all kinds of stuff. They're just simply talking to run out the clock. It's called a filibuster. If it's your first time watching this, if it's making you go ballistic, that's what happens in a filibuster. It's designed to make the other party, the majority party, throw up their hands and say, okay, fine, we give in. We surrender. We'll stop trying to push the bill. And that is exactly what the Democrats are trying to do right now in the Senate. They're trying to get the Republican leadership team to say, you know what? That's it. Throwing up our hands. We're going to surrender. We're going to pull SAPA from consideration. And again, we are in this position for two reasons. Number one, Senate Democrats hate guns, hate you, hate freedom, and hate all of us for trying to maintain it and to expand it. And so they're going to fight to the death, politically speaking, to crush any attempt to advance our gun rights. The second reason, as I mentioned a moment ago, why we're here right now, is that Senate President Schatz pissed away 3 months where he could have put SAPA on the floor for a vote. And so now we're in this position where we stand today. So that's where we are. That's kind of how we got here. If you watched the debate this morning, maybe 10 o'clock to 11:30, you heard, and I want to call out some big acknowledgments to Senator Bob Onder, and Senator Rick Bratton, and others who fought like lions to take care of and shepherd SAPA through the early morning hours today. They fought aggressively to push back on all the crap that the Democrats were bringing up about SAPA. And some of the quotes that we heard this morning were amazing. An acknowledgement that our gun rights are not about hunting. It's not even about concealed carry. It's not even about self-defense of ourselves and our families. those are all parts of our gun rights. But at the end of the day, our gun rights, our God-given gun rights, are about the defense against tyrannical government. And we talk about that a lot here at MOFC because we agree 100%. But for a long time, it's been easy for people to say, oh, there's no tyrannical government who's trying to take away your guns. There's no big scheme to disarm America. And all of that has changed now. We now have a federal government. We now have a mentally deficient, creepy old, finding his dentures, groping interns president who has just enough cognitive abilities to repeat the talking points given to him by Kamala Harris or Beto O'Rourke or who knows who is feeding him these lines. And they are very intentional. They absolutely intend to disarm Americans. And so the veneer has been pulled off, the Band-Aid has been pulled back, and that's why we're here today, because SAPA legislation would fix all of that by only allowing Missouri city cops, sheriff's deputies, and state troopers, only allow them to enforce Missouri law when it comes to our gun rights. And so all that federal garbage, executive actions, federal gun control that could pass through Congress, if he could do it, I'm not sure he can, but all those things would be null and void here in Missouri because Missouri peace officers could only enforce Missouri law. And that is what the left was all too happy to, that concept, this doctrine was what the left was all too happy to employ for 4 years under President Trump. So when President Trump was trying to deport violent, illegal aliens, sometimes those who were homicide suspects, when he was trying to deport them out of the country, the left was right there to assert this doctrine, the separation of powers concept, and say, oh, no, our state, our city, we are a sanctuary for criminal, illegal aliens. And you cannot come in here, or certainly we will not be enforcing your federal laws in our city or in our state. Think, California, right? Think Chicago. So in these areas, the state government was like, no, we're not going to enforce it and you're not welcome here. So the left was very happy to utilize all of this for 4 years under President Trump. The left has been very happy to utilize this idea when it comes to the marijuana laws. And whatever your take is on marijuana is irrelevant. The point is that the Democrats were very happy to use this idea that states have the right to assert their own sovereignty when it came to the marijuana laws as they did the immigration laws. But now when it comes to protecting our Second Amendment freedom, our basic ability to defend ourselves from tyranny, now these same people are throwing up their hands. Oh my God, we can't have this. This would be anarchy. This would be the prelude to insanity. We can't have SAPA pass. I mean, if you're watching this debate, the hypocrisy, the lies, and the absolute shameless BS has been flowing for hours. So now the same radical gun grabbers who were championing Black Lives Matter and Antifa thugs who burned, rioted, and shot their way across Missouri a year ago, right now, the same thugs, the same animals who murdered retired St. Louis City police officers who was standing there guarding his friend's jewelry store, the same party who praised all of them, right? Suddenly, now they are the party of law and order. Now this party is the party of law and order. The same party who wanted to defund the police, who have attacked law enforcement for years now under the Trump administration. Now these people, if you haven't heard it, you might not think it's possible, but it's true. Now these people are standing there saying, oh, we can't pass SAPA. This is anti-law enforcement. This is similar to defunding our police. The same lying hypocrites who wanted to defund the police for the last couple of years are now saying we can't pass SAPA. That's bad for the police. I mean, but that's just the beginning, because the same people who've never met who have never met an unborn baby they weren't willing to rip in pieces in their mother's womb via abortion up to and including after the moment of birth, the same party who's championed the murder of unborn babies for all these years, now they're on the floor as we speak talking about how we can't pass SAPA. This is going to get children hurt. We're going to have more guns in the hands of Missourians, and we're going to have innocent children are going to be harmed because more law-abiding citizens have firearms. I mean, the insanity, the hypocrisy, and the absolute lies that we have heard for going on, I'm kind of losing track, 7 hours, give or take now, is insane. It's insane. And so just know, if you're listening to any of this on the state's website, that every single word out of these people's mouths is a damn lie. Every single argument they're bringing up is designed to simply run out the clock. These people are, they hate you. They hate you. They hate me. They hate our freedom. They hate the Second Amendment. And they hate the fact that, at least in Missouri, they are totally impotent as a legislative body to have the votes they need to stop it. And that's why, again, we're sitting here stuck in a filibuster as they're trying their best to run out the clock. So the arguments are all crap. Their moral authority is totally bankrupt. These people are soulless, bloodthirsty ghouls. But now they're trying to stand there and be the party of law and order and saving children. This is all a scam trying to stop SAPA. So a lot of you are asking us, okay, now what can the Republicans do about it? So here's the process. And this is used rarely in Missouri. Sometimes it's not even used during an entire legislative session. But what the Senate can do, if they choose to do so, is what's called a PQ motion, a previous question motion. And what it basically does, in effect, is it ends debate, ends this back and forth about the weather and your oil changes and where you're going on vacation and all this crap, and it calls the question to the floor for a vote. It's called a PQ motion. Again, it's a previous question motion. Now, Missouri has, from what we know, the strongest filibuster rules in the country as a state legislative chamber. And so to break a filibuster requires the Republicans and the Senate to have 20, as far as we know, it's 20 names on a document calling for a PQ motion. So 20 Republican senators can stand up and they can end this madness. But that's the only way to stop this now that we're this far into a filibuster. So 7 hours into it, we can't get the floor back until the Democrats cede the floor, give control back to the GOP, or the GOP does a PQ motion and forces this issue to a head once and for all. So that's where we are. Now, how long might this go on? We don't know. No one knows. Democrats don't know. There's one scenario which ends pretty quickly. There's one scenario where this goes for another 22 hours. We're 22 hours away from the end of session. Okay? 6 p.m. tomorrow night. That's it. Closing the door, turn off the lights. Everybody's leaving the building for the year. We're done. We're done. So we have 22 hours approximately left. So somewhere between where we are right now, tonight, and tomorrow at 6 p.m., we're going to have a PQ motion unless the Democrats cede control of the floor. You guys tell me, give me a thumbs up if you want to see your Republicans man up, drop this PQ motion, and end this. If you're tired of seeing a handful of anti-gun Democrats stop the entire advancement of this bill, if you want to see the Republicans buck up and fight for freedom, give me some thumbs up, because I can tell you right now, senators are watching this video in real time. Their staffers are watching this video in real time. And many of them have this idea that, oh, that's the nuclear option. We can't do that. We can't use those heavy tactics. I'm here to tell you, if this issue, if SAPA is not important enough to drop a PQ motion and end this debate, then I don't know what is. I don't know what is. And again, we're only here because Senate Republican leadership has screwed away the last 3 months when we could have done this anytime we chose. Nowhere near the end of the session. But again, here we are, stuck in this position, less than a day to go because Republican leadership failed to do their basic job. So that's the situation right now. SAPA is a monumental achievement if we can get it passed into law. It would protect our rights from Joe Biden's federal tyranny. And there is no other bill like this in America right now. I don't care what you've seen on Breitbart or other websites about Arkansas or Arizona or Nebraska. This is all I do. Well, that I help my boys on their little home lawn mowing business. These are the 2 jobs I got, right? This is all I do is gun politics. And I know all of these bills. And none of them have any teeth the way that Missouri's HB 85 has. This is the best version of SAPA that we have ever seen in this country. And if we can pass it here in Missouri, this is the roadmap. I don't just tell you this. I know this because we're helping Republican lawmakers in Iowa who are drafting this. It was filed a long time ago, House File 518. We're working with state reps in Ohio, where my brother Chris Dorr runs Ohio Gun Owners, and OGO is working on SAPA in Ohio using the Missouri language as the bill draft. We're working the same thing in Wyoming. Now, they're adjourned now for the year, but the same thing. So all across red America right now, what happens here in Missouri, or what doesn't happen, I guess, here in Missouri, this is the roadmap for red states. And we're seeing all kinds of legislators call Senator Burleson, Representative Taylor, and contacting us. How do we do this? How do we do this? The question is, will we actually get it done or not? We have the votes. We had the votes. The question is, do they have the willpower? We discussed this in our videos for the last 2 days relentlessly. You guys know the only reason why we're standing here this close is because of all the pressure that MOFC members have thundered down onto Senate leadership and your own senators. Hell, I don't think the Democrats even thought until late last night this is even going to come up to the floor for a vote. They were convinced that the rhinos in the Senate would kill this on their own. But now, because of what you guys have done, now the Democrats are doing what they can do, again, with this filibuster to kill it, because they know that what we are sitting on right now, folks, it's a spark of freedom. It's an ember. But if this thing passes the Senate, and the House will concur immediately following that, if this happens, and if Governor Mike Parson does his job and signs this little ember of freedom is going to become a ferocious forest fire. It's going to spread across red America like we've never seen. And Missouri was on the front end of the fight for constitutional carry, and state after state after state has followed what Missouri did on constitutional carry and, for that matter, senior ground law. And now, if we become the state to put the best version of SAPA in the books, once and for all, done deal, we're going to see red states follow this all across the country. So we are not just fighting for our freedom. We're not just fighting for Missouri. You and I and all of us are fighting for the Second Amendment across America right now. And so everybody in red America is watching Missouri right now, watching gun owners in Missouri to see if we can make this happen. If we do, it will be the shot heard around the world when it comes to stopping federal tyranny. We can do it. It's constitutional. The courts have upheld it. We are so close. Right now, we're in a filibuster. The question is, will the Republicans end this madness with a PQ motion sometime between now and I'll call it 5 o'clock tomorrow? They have to have some time to deal with this over in the House. So that's where things stand. Share our video. If you want to take an action step, if you're saying, how can I help? What can I do? At this point, your best option is to call your Republican state senator and say, I want you to run a PQ motion, that's previous question motion, and put this to rest. We don't have a super majority of Republicans, only to sit here now and not have you guys use that majority, the one that gun owners gave you, and pass the bills that we want you to pass. So you may call your state senator, text him if you have his cell phone number, hit him on Facebook, any way you can contact him. I want a PQ motion on HB 85, end this insanity, pass this bill, and let's strike a blow for freedom in this state that is watched all across the country. That's where we are, guys. Thank you for all of your action so far right now. By the way, I know there's a lot of new people here who are on our page right now who may be new to what we're doing here at the Missouri Firearms Coalition. If you're not a member right now, guys, if you're not a member of MOFC, you got to get involved. It's very simple. It's joinmofc.com, joinmofc.com. Go there and join up. We need your help. You heard it in debate today. If you didn't hear it, you can play it back. The NRA hasn't been in the building in years. They're all saying it. If you want to get involved in the fight in Missouri, this is where to go. Joinmofc.com and get signed up. If you're already a member, go to our website and donate, please. We've had a shutdown, as you know, on our email program for almost 2 weeks. We're back. We're limping back now. We're shut down for 2 weeks. It cost us dearly. We need your help, guys. Here's what's going to happen. If the Senate passes this and the House concurs on this, we're going to be up on radio and or digital ads within a matter of hours with ads urging Governor Parson to sign this bill into law. That is not a foregone conclusion if you know anything about Governor Parson. So we can't sit back and hope for the best. So we are already, even though we're not sure what's going to happen here with this bill in the Senate, we're already working on these ads as we speak. And we need your help to run them so we can actually get this thing all the way across the finish line, guys. Take action. Share our video. If you can donate, donate. If you want to join. We'll keep you guys informed. Thank you.